If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Busy hour on tap coming up in 15 minutes. Our observations and bets that we're looking at for the NFL schedule as they released it last night. We will get into the playoff games that we have, NBA and the NHL, which is where we begin here with VSiN's very own NHL betting analyst, Jonathan Davis, as he joins us here an hour before puck drop between Carolina and Washington on the Progressive Guest Line. Jonathan, good to talk to you as always. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. I can't wait. Looking forward to another great night of Stanley Cup playoffs. And, hey, 2 closeout games. Never a bad thing.
Let's begin with the one that starts in an hour then. Carolina against Washington. Here you have the 1 seed on the ropes, and it has not been a pretty series for them. And what do you make of the current number on this, with Carolina being this big of a favorite, and the total at 5.5 in this game, Jonathan?
Well, I mean, they've been a big favorite throughout, so no surprise. And Washington has not had an answer for them. At the end of the day, they can't really generate offense other than it's been 3 goals is the best that they've been able to do. So I think they're in for a tough spot. I mean, the trends that I've been playing is the team that loses, you bet them to score first in the next game. It's been just hard. I mean, we don't get goals. We don't get a lot of goals in this one. So for me, I'm actually going to focus on a couple of props. And, Alexander Ovechkin's had 10 shots in his last couple of games, in his last 3 games. Taylor Hall's had at least 2 shots in 3 of his last 4 games. So I parlayed those 2 guys, Ovechkin over 2.5 and Hall over 1.5. You get that at plus money. Even took Hall on his own at over 2.5. So I like that. And then here's the other thing with closeout games. We've had 12 closeout games so far in the playoffs. 9 of them have been decided by 2 or more goals. And 3 of the 4 times that the team that needed to stay alive won the game, they won by 2 or more goals. So I actually play both teams on the puck line because I think I'm going to come away with a small profit. If it's Carolina, I come away with a small profit. If it's Washington, I can win about 2 units.
The other thing, too, and you mentioned this on VSiN.com, is that every first period has gone under, and there's only been 1 goal scored in the first period in the whole series. But with closeout games, and I want to know if you want to play the empty net prop as well, that this is it. Washington loses, it's over. So once Thompson comes out, he stays out. And if you want to play that angle where last goal, empty net, who's going to score the last goal, all that jazz too, how you want to play this and how you think a game could go over late.
I would play the third period over too.
Okay.
That's the way I'm going to. We haven't seen as many empty net goals of late, but we've definitely seen a lot of goals. And the third period in this series is 3-1 to the over. And we've had, I think, 3 of those 4 games have had 3 goals or more in the third period.
All right. Same situation with Winnipeg. Here we go. Hellebuck lost 9 in a row on the road, 0-5 this year. They are 5-1 at home, though, in the playoffs. Can they keep this one alive? Your level of confidence and trust in Hellebuck here at home, or does Dallas close them out? How do you see that? And then some props you want to get into in the late game.
Yeah, so if Winnipeg, if this is their best shot, they're back at home, so it's their comfort zone. It's the whiteout. Connor Hellebuck seems to play better overall in this spot, but I still don't trust him. And although he's 5-1 at home, Pauly, 4 of those games he's given up at least 3 goals.
Yep.
So for me, I'm going to go take the Dallas team total over 2.5 at this one. That's my favorite play in this game.
Okay. And how about some props then?
Yeah, props. Look, Thomas Harley of the Dallas Stars, he's got 3 goals and 9 assists or 6 assists in the playoffs. He's got 5 power play points in this series. So for me, the way I attack it is don't just play an assist. He's got 5 power play points. They're all assists on the power play. I would rather take him at 3-1 to get a power play point. And you could also play an anytime goal for Harley because he's the guy. He's taken over from Heiskanen on the power play. So I like him. Play a goal prop, play his power play point, and I think you're going to come away with some good money there. Kyle Connor and Nikolai Ehlers. I know that you had Dennis Bernstein on the show earlier this week. He loved the Ehlers prop. It cashed, I think, in the first period that night.
Right.
I parlayed Ehlers with Connor, both over 2.5 shots at a plus price tonight. So, and Ehlers has been their best goal scorer in the series. If you want a long shot and you like the Jets tonight, Adam Lowry, their captain, has always been a big playoff performer. The books have caught on. He was as high as $7 at one point. He's still at plus 460 for a goal. I would sprinkle a little pizza money on Adam Lowry for an anytime goal.
Okay, I like that angle. Jonathan Davis here, our guest on the Progressive Guest Line. He is VSiN's NHL betting analyst with us here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. So one thing on the Stars team total tonight, are you a little bit concerned that you're going to be going up against good Hellebuck here at home in Winnipeg and you'd rather just do it on the road, or you don't really care about that?
Well, no, because Mitch, he's given up at least 3 goals 4 times at home. So, I got a 67% chance the way it's gone in the playoffs so far that I'm going to get 3. I don't care if Dallas wins, but I still think they got, he's still has the propensity to give up 3 at home, in 4 of the 6 home games. So I'm still with the Dallas team total.
If the Stars take this one tonight and they finish them off in 5 games, your early thoughts on what would be pretty close to a pick'em, I believe, in a Stars-Oilers Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I mean, look, both these teams, Dallas has the revenge of, getting knocked out by Edmonton last year, especially in that final game where, Stuart Skinner stole it, rinse and repeat on Stuart Skinner doing that late in the series. And for Edmonton, their whole idea, they want to get back to the Cup. So it's a coin flip for me. I would bet the Stars early on in that series, just for the way Skinner plays early on, and then see how it goes, and then maybe come back with Edmonton.
Mitch bet this, and other listeners did as well. Back-to-back shutouts. It's interesting because it's a huge price. They're going to the conference finals, but he was horrendous to start the series and got pulled. What do you think of Skinner at 200, 300 to 1 to win a Conn Smythe?
Look, the number's outstanding, and if he can keep it up, great. But here's the one thing. When you look back to Game 4 of this series, the first shutout that he got, the 3-0 game in Edmonton, guys, he was the 3rd star that night. Like, he didn't have to. You're going to give the guy one of the 3 stars of the game because he earned a shutout. But I think, he didn't have to do much. It was pretty much of a rocking chair game for him that night. Last night, he was the 2nd star, rightfully so, because he was on the winning end. I thought Aiden Hill was better than Skinner. Didn't matter at the end of the day. But he hasn't had to be their best player, even in the 2 shutouts. But it's definitely worth the money because, again, if he continues to play his best when the game's, at the end of a series, then people are going to look at it. And he's a great story. The media loves this guy. He's a very likable person. His interviews are great. He's one of the few goalies that will talk on a game day. Like, that's Marty Brodeur was the last guy that I remember that ever did that. So, I mean, yeah, if he keeps it up, like, grab that price now. You're never going to get a better one.
Are we going to see any heart, guts, or pride from the Maple Leafs tomorrow after that debacle last night?
Well, Pauly, I tell you during the break, I was talking to a doctor who works close to the team, and the Maple Leaf players, there's about 12 of them that are suffering from a torn cartilage and a motivator cuff injury. No, I don't know. It's unbelievable. I thought it was bad in Los Angeles, the egg that they laid in Game 5 against Edmonton. That's a Picasso after what we saw last night in Toronto. I mean, booed off the ice after the 2nd period, jerseys being thrown on the ice. And the interviews that you hear from Matthews and Marner they're so ho-hum. I mean, you if you were a fan, and I'm not a Leafs fan by any stretch, but I'm just like, it just doesn't seem like it bothers them. And I've said to you guys repeatedly, they like to win. They don't hate to lose. They don't go to the dirty areas. It was pointed out to me, I think Mikko Rantanen for Dallas has more goals this year than Marner's had like in the last 6 years in the playoffs.
Oh, God. Oh, I couldn't believe it either. It was like every guy after the game said, well, it doesn't matter whether you lose in overtime or you lose 6-1. Yes, it does, because you didn't show any fight. You got embarrassed. I mean, you can at least feel good about your game if you had the lead or you lose 2-1 in overtime. I mean, as you said, they booed him off the ice.
Yeah, look, when Max Domi ran Sasha Barkov from behind at the end of Game 4 to send the message that we're done being pushed around, if you don't follow up the next game and play like you mean it, I mean, you're outshot 14-6 in the first period last night. At one point, William Nylander had 5 shots on goal. The rest of the Maple Leafs team had 6. And not that Nylander played great. And then you had Mitch Marner turned over the puck. Terrible play on the third goal. Austin Matthews made a bad play. And think about this. 4 players for Florida scored their first goal of the game, their first goal of the playoffs last night in that game. By the way, if you bet all 4 players, a $100 bet would have paid $2.2 million.
Okay.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw that tweet. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Oh.
So Mitch, that's like, if I had won that, I'd definitely take everybody out for dinner and wine like crazy, like you're going to do when Skinner wins the award.
You're invited, by the way. I don't know if you were fishing for an invite, but you got one if he takes it down.
I'm
for sure.
Fishing, baby. I'm fishing. I'll never turn down dinner with you guys.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Good luck tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. You too.
All right. Well done. The king of props. He's also tweets in play while the games are going on as well. And he was fantastic the last time we had closeout games with the in-play stuff and then the empty net scenario tonight that could happen. So, hopefully Winnipeg can at least force a Game 6, and I don't like Washington's chances.
No, I would agree with that. Of the 2 teams here.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Please tell me we don't have 5-5-5 here. 4-1, 4-1, 4-1.
What are you going to do with yourself this weekend if we have baseball and the PGA, and that's pretty much it?
Yeah, rivalry weekend.
That'll have to be like, has that happened in recent years?
Yeah, nothing this deep.
Second round, everything's done?
I know. Well, the NBA had the day off regardless, but on Saturday.
All right, we'll go over some NFL schedule observations up next. What caught our attention. Follow the money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
How things change typically from year to year in the NFL. Betting these teams, betting different numbers based on personnel, schedule, how they drafted, etc. The number one example for me would be I was the biggest Detroit Lions fan on the planet last year. Loved them. I bet them at 12-1 to win the Super Bowl. I had them up the wazoo at 6-1 to win the NFC. I thought they were in the perfect spot. Had an amazing schedule. Ben Johnson was back as the OC. All these players were hitting their prime. Aaron Glenn was back as the DC. And then it just fell apart in that game against Washington. And now this year, I got to tell you, I want nothing to do with the Lions. Nothing. And their win total is 10.5. I don't know if are they going to win their division this year? That is an awfully difficult division. Packers are good. Vikings, if McCarthy is the real deal, why can the Vikings not win their division? The Bears are going to be improved.
Hold on. What do you expect out of him?
I have no idea. No clue. If the guy's healthy, I expect him to be pretty good.
I think it also comes down to the confidence you have and with O'Connell, though, and he's the man.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right?
I mean, you don't think he's great? Look at the bombshell today from Caleb Williams with that book. He loved O'Connell so much, didn't want to know part of the Bears.
Yeah.
The family tried to get him to Minnesota. So
think about that for a second. Yep. So, no, if you told me that McCarthy's going to stay upright and be healthy for like 15 games this year, I would tell you I'm probably going to bet the Vikings to win that division. But it's also like the way...
This is crazy, though. 7 outdoor games. 9...
Remember they had 1 last year, right?
That was big, and that's why a lot of people made the case on this
Goff
network
MVP.
for Goff MVP.
Yeah.
9 road games. Well, plus his numbers are atrocious in cold weather. 9 road games. The 7 of them are against playoff teams. It's the most difficult road SOS in the Super Bowl era. And, you don't have Johnson, you don't have Glenn. So you really have your work cut out for you to get to 11 wins there.
I mean, here is look at the schedule here. For those of you in the radio audience, I'll explain it to you. This is who they play on the road and when. Week 1 at Green Bay, Week 3 at the Ravens, weeks 5 and 6 back to back at the Bengals, at the Chiefs. They have at the Commanders Week 10. They're at the Eagles the next week after that. They play at the Rams in Week 15, and they close the season at the Vikings on Christmas and at the Bears. And the numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
that
could be a strong close though. That's in play. Starting with the Giant game, Week 12, to clarify. They could win. They could rattle off some W's there.
Well, sure, they get 3 in a row at home, Giants, Packers, and Cowboys.
Right.
That would be a big stretch. But 10.5, no way, no how am I playing that over?
Yep.
They're
49ers?
Well, I mean,
easiest schedule?
That number is 10.5. I really wanted 9.5. That could be a big difference.
The issues in the division, though, too. You blew the Rams game. You got swept by the Rams. You lost to Arizona. Got swept by Arizona. I know the last game, I guess you want to throw that out, but.
I mean, that's the definition of a last place schedule.
Uh-huh.
They caught all the breaks here. However, I agree with what you said. I think the Rams are really freaking good this year.
Yes.
I totally agree with Adam Chernoff. I think what the Cardinals did in the offseason and in the draft, they completely aced it. I think the Cardinals will be on the uptick this year. I don't hate the Seahawks. I think Seahawks can have a damn good defense. So if it works there with the offense and who they brought in now, obviously at quarterback with Sam Darnold, and that running game, that's not going to be a gimme to win those games. But 9.5, 10.5, I would go over 9.5 if I could find it, but I don't know if I can.
Okay.
You'd have to pay out juice on that, obviously.
And a week from tonight, we get Derek Stevens and Mike Palm in studio to break the news of what they're doing with their contest. Adam Burke today, do you agree, VSiN.com, that he felt with the schedule that it almost is like the NFL is well aware of the Survivor contest, and they want to make it very difficult on everyone with how they put the same teams on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Now, I read like 2 of his, was that in one of his breakdowns?
Yeah.
I read like 1.5 of them, I guess. I missed that part, but that's exactly the thought that I had last night. And remember, because I sent over a group text to you, Mike Palm, and Derek Stevens. I'm like, can you guys believe they're doing this? Similar teams on Thanksgiving and Christmas? Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yep. Miami. 3, possibly 4 cold weather games. Cleveland's in late October. December's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Philly, 7 standalone. Washington, 8. Kansas City, 8. Could be going to be flex, too. They might have 9. Who knows?
How sick are you going to be of the Chiefs by week 3?
Please.
You already hate the team.
Yep. Can't stand them. Dallas, 8. 8 primetime / standalone games. They won 7 games. It's the NFL. Doesn't matter who you put on. Now, Matt made the case yesterday. The win total's too low at 7.5. Okay. Well, maybe. But week 12, Philly. Then Kansas City on Thanksgiving. Then they play Detroit. Then Minnesota on Sunday night. Then the Chargers. Then Washington on Christmas. That's week 12 through 17. Oh, and we'll see what Schottenheimer's made of, too.
Sure.
I mean, this is just could be a disaster for Dallas. I'm with you. Giants, 3 primetime games, too much.
Well, and their schedule again.
And then the schedule out of the gates is it's just torture.
Yeah, but also it's tough the entire time pretty much. That's a last place schedule.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean,
when you can't go to Dart early.
No, because again, Dable wants to save his job, right?
Yeah.
Unless Dart blows him away in the preseason, like he's got to be the guy, and Wilson just is going to be a stink bomb, and you can't trust Jameis at all. Pittsburgh, very easy in the first 6 weeks.
I agree. Other people were saying the opposite today on some other shows. I found that odd.
No,
I don't care who the quarterback is. That's a doable schedule to start.
It is. And, again, the pedigree there and what they've done over the years, that they're going to be a borderline playoff team, if not a playoff team like every year, but they also close with a very difficult schedule. I mean, beginning in week 10, they're at the Chargers, the Bengals at the Bears, the Bills at the Ravens, the Dolphins on Monday night at the Lions, at the Browns, and the Ravens again. I'm not rushing out to bet them over 8.5, I'll tell you that, with Pittsburgh. I'm not going to bet them yes to make the playoffs either. Maybe Tomlin does it again, but I can't get there. I'm also pondering a bet. I think they're going to be a very public team this year, the Commanders. So
yeah,
I'm not going to rush out and bet them, but I do think that there's going to be an angle here where that win total is now 9.5. I would only look to go under there. Again, teams that will face multiple opponents coming off of a bye this year, the Commanders face 4, more than any other team in the entire league. And there's also, second-year regression. They were amazing last year, and they had a lot of breaks go their way. And I would, the easy comp here to do would be C.J. Stroud in Houston last year after his amazing rookie season. They still made the playoffs, but they, for the regular season, didn't really pan out the way most people thought they were going to with all those expectations.
We're getting carried away with New England. They're favored in 11 games?
8.5 win total.
Come on. I'd go against them week 1. Raiders catching 3.5. There were 3.5s out there yesterday.
Yes, you're exactly right.
I'll take Pete Carroll.
I also wanted to give you this. So week 1 survivor play, you can already circle this as being the most popular play in the world.
Yeah.
You know who it's going to be, right? It'll be, Denver's going to be very popular against the Titans. The Commanders will be popular against the Giants. But those are 2 that stick out big time in terms of the point spread. Those are the 2 that are 7.5. And there isn't another game. If you want to include Eagles, Cowboys, go ahead. But not that one excluded. There isn't another game that touches 6, let alone 7 points overall.
Yeah. I am a fan of the doubleheaders on Monday night. I love them. There's 4 of them. And 2 of the doubleheaders, they're not going on at the same time. You get the 4 o'clock and the 7 o'clock Pacific kicks.
Yeah.
One of them involves, I think it's Raiders-Chargers out here. So that I like. People, I know Vaccaro for years. Jimmy Vaccaro said he wants it every Monday.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
He would love the doubleheader every Monday. You like that too.
Do you like all the international games?
I don't have a problem with it. I like the 6:30 kick and breakfast with football. 16's too many, which his goal is and his dream. But I think I don't have a problem with it. And if they're going to kick these at 6:30 in the morning, Mike Palm was in when you were out, just saying it doesn't do any business, and people don't wake up, and the tourists coming to town, it doesn't do much handle.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan, we've had the problem you have is they usually send trash over there. They're usually lousy games on paper.
I don't disagree.
They don't. Jets Vikings was good, but how many times can you say, looking back, you had Heartbreak Hotel with the Carolina game? Was that Germany, right?
Yep.
But it's just see. It depends, but it looks pretty good on paper. But the Brazil game's the nuts on Friday, and some of these you don't know. Broncos, Jets, Vikings, Browns could be blowouts. Commanders, Dolphins could be okay in Madrid, but...
So if he wants 16 international games, is the plan to do 1 per week until...
Yeah, was that the plan? You got to be, right?
It has to be, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And then pretty much... So you're going to have the primetime game on Friday now every year to begin. And then after that, it's going to be like 15 consecutive weeks of a game at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 Pacific. I would imagine that would be what he wants.
Yeah, because they're just so greedy. Because they've opened it up to here.
Oh.
You can have, whether it's Amazon, Peacock, Netflix, whatever, come on in. We'll give you these special standalone games and bid on it. It's separate from other packages, which you can do.
My analogy would be when your ex hit megabucks for 12, 17, how much was it again? Millions of dollars.
12.
Were you running out to play penny slots after that? Once the dam starts to leak, it's like, let me sit down here and go 5 cents at a time. That's not happening anymore. We'll discuss major news today, we think anyway, with the NBA playoffs. We'll get into that and a 3-point prop to consider adding to your portfolio tonight.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So plenty of movement on this NBA playoff game tonight. Again, right before we came on the air, more than 2.5 hours ago, here at Circa, Oklahoma City was down to a 4-point favorite. That ballooned all the way up to 5.5 here at Circa and several other books. Now here, down to 4.5. Other books have 5. The news came out right before we came on the air that Jamal Murray is listed as questionable, like out of nowhere because of an illness. Have you heard any more on this? Is it like the flu? Is it...
No update. Tim McMahon, ESPN, who's at the game, had the questionable tweet at 1:30 that he was questionable, but
all right, so
nothing more right now.
At the time, his points prop, meaning Murray, was 21.5. I'm looking right now on the screen, and I see 19.5 posted pretty much everywhere on him. So, again, if he's compromised tonight, it doesn't, like if it's the flu, again, we don't know at this point, but if it's the flu, guys can go out there. Not everybody's Michael Jordan, but, maybe you can get in the zone and still knock the stuff down and be okay.
Or your Porzingis, who's been sick for a month and can't give you anything.
Yeah. Again, according to Missoula last night, could not breathe during the game. That's kind of a big deal. So then if it's not going to be Murray tonight, and if he's limited, let's say, who's going to be the guy here for Denver?
I love Gordon, but then these other guys, though, it's Joker and Gordon, and then you pray. And it's all about just Joker trying to take over, taking as many shots as possible, and try to give you 45, 18, and 9, something like that. Just say, get on my back. I'm going to carry us.
Right.
And even though they have Chet and Hartenstein, I'll still get mine and back them down and do whatever I want.
I'll tell you this. Has the league announced who the MVP is yet?
Oh, it's a holdup. That's the only award we don't have.
I will say, if
really taking their time here.
If Denver wins the game tonight, the league better announce it tomorrow, because you don't want to wait until the Thunder might lose in Game 7 and then say SGA's the MVP.
Yeah, that's awkward.
How does that one taste?
Yeah, that's as bad as when
That's exactly right.
Dallas lost in the first round.
Yep.
They gave it to Dirk after. It was awkward.
So here's maybe something. This is from Zach Cohen, VSiN.com, writes about the NBA every day with great analysis. He was considering Jokic, did not get there, or Joker, I should say. He did turn his attention to Aaron Gordon, averaging 2.6 made threes per game in the series, and he has made at least 2 triples in 4 of the 5 games so far. He also attempted 5 threes in Oklahoma City in Game 5. That's the 4th time this series which he's done that. And he points out, as long as Gordon is taking 5 or 6 threes per game, he's happy to bet over 1.5 made threes at -110. The juice has moved a little bit, but you can still find -115 out there.
There's so many guys here that you can play and that you like. Gordon, Williams, Porter. I trust Porter at home, and he was lousy in Game 5. Joker, Game 3 or Game 4? He took 10 of them. And he's $1.75 to go over 1.5. And I know Jeff Erickson earlier on the network made the case for Gordon rebounds over, too. But one is difficult is Dort, because Dort has gone over at home and under on the road. And he's 2.5 under -175. But then again, as he was so hot in the last game, they're going to leave him wide open. And if he can knock a couple down, that's easy to get to, too.
Right. So during the show, I also bet Westbrook over 9.5 even money for points tonight. There's an angle here where he's going to play a ton of minutes, and he could have the ball in his hands a lot. I also, this was pizza money here. We're going to, by the way, tomorrow we're going to break out, take you inside our pizzeria, asking you for long shot bets that you still have. It could be for the PGA, could be for the NBA playoffs, obviously, NHL playoffs, any of that stuff, or long shot bets that you're making right now. You can always email the show, ftm@vsin.com. That's FTM for Follow the Money at vsin.com. You can also tweet us at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. I took 125-1 on Russ to lead the game in points tonight. Total, just, blowout scenario. Murray's not feeling well, but maybe can't give it a go. And maybe there's cleanup duty here. And Russ scores 35. And that comes in every night with these games, the way it seems.
Mm-hmm. No, Buddy Hield back-to-back. And Westbrook will be out there if it's a blowout.
Mm-hmm. Either way, I think.
But it could take a lot, though, with SGA and Joker to fade those two guys.
So in terms of overall games to bet on, if OKC wins this game tonight, Knicks win the game tomorrow night, we have nothing on Saturday or Sunday in the NBA?
I don't think they would start Game 1 Sunday.
I don't think so either.
With the Minnesota series. Minnesota's loving life here, rooting for a 7-game series, get more time off. But even though they took out the Lakers and Warriors in 5. And then Game 7, Boston, New York is Monday. So Saturday they had nothing scheduled anyways. And that would be unfortunate. Do you agree with Steve Kerr that they might have made a finals run if Curry was healthy? Because it's interesting he said that. And then Ernie Johnson asked Barkley last night.
Barkley said they were not going to win against Minnesota if Curry was healthy. I don't know how you can make that comment. I mean, I think they easily could have defeated Minnesota.
Won Game 1, and it's much easier to defend and guard when you don't have the guy out. It makes a world of difference.
Changes everything. I don't think they're going to win a title, but to maybe get to the finals, would I been stunned? No, because Curry can go for 45 any game.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you're lopping off one of the best players in the history of the sport who changes everything offensively. So, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Did you agree with Kerr? By the way, I saw the press conference right after the game, and he refused to even talk about Curry. He's like, give Minnesota credit. I don't even want to bring up Curry's name right now.
Yeah, they were awesome. I'm glad he did that, especially Randall. How Randall played in that series, and Ant with some spectacular moments in the second half.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
They got a lot of guys that can beat you and a lot of guys that can score. And they're going to give OKC gets there. Even without home court, that's going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah, it'll be tough for him.
I mean, it's just I'm sitting here waiting, right? All I have is Game 2 against Denver. They're 1-6 ATS last 7. They're down 30 to Memphis. Memphis didn't beat a team in the West with a winning record since January. Come on. You almost won 70 games. You have all these historic numbers. And I'm a little disappointed with Dagnall, too, with the coaching.
I love what
they got to do a better job. Go ahead.
To tie in both those teams then, I love what Finch said after the game. He basically called his players out again and said, look, are we really a Western Conference Finals type of team, or did we happen to make it to the Western Conference Finals last year?
That was a good quote. I saw that. Yes.
And so he's been calling them out all along. He's a great soundbite. He's a really good coach as well. And so I don't know, maybe does he have the coaching advantage if it's going to be Minnesota and Oklahoma City? Dagnall's damn good. I mean, he's been good for a long time here to make it work like at this level now.
I know, but it's I'm very disappointed in some of the. We know about the Game 1 debacle, how we handled that. That was terrible. You have 2 big guys, and yet you still can't slow down and contain Joker. They only have 3.5 guys who can score, and you still can. And you know they're going to play zone. So what are you drawing up offensively? It's been a whole series now. You know what they're going to do. There's no surprises. And other than what they did Game 2, they've struggled offensively here going back. Right. So they're going to give you wide open shots. They're going to zone you up. You think you'd have something ready, and they would look like that team that obliterated the league.
The problem for Minnesota is when you match up big guys against Oklahoma City, like the Thunder have had no solution for Joker. Gobert's going to do nothing offensively against the Thunder. I don't even passing the guy the ball on the low block. You're begging to turn the ball over.
Well, don't even play him. Remember what happened last year? He didn't even play, and they beat him by 20 on the road. If it's that matchup again.
Yeah. I also think there's that bitter taste in their mouth from last year and what happened against the Mavericks. Like some teams are good in that angle, right? They come back, they don't forget that they're still pissed off. They play with that edge. And same thing could be said for Oklahoma City, I guess, because they were taken out in 6 games because P.J. Washington had the series of his life.
Right.
But they had no solution for that guy.
It goes back to it, though. And then also I was surprised what the series price would be if it's OKC, Minnesota. Well, based on the points. Yeah, but at some point you have to downgrade somebody. You know, they still look young and inexperienced and a deer in headlights sometimes in some of these tight games. They certainly showed in Game 1 when they blew a 9-point lead with 2:40.
Two things here that are both possible, right? If this Randall continues to play every game, and if Anthony Edwards is as good as SGA, or if he's the best player in the series, I love the Timberwolves' chances to win it. I'll love them.
Yep.
Oklahoma City cannot allow Anthony Edwards to be the best player in that series. Their defense has been too good for the entire year. You got to somehow neutralize that guy. And if Randall is going to be a beast like this, well, then I don't care who you throw at him because he's going to be able to take guys on in the perimeter and do whatever. He's been dancing for 2 series now in a row.
I talked to a couple Denver fans and media members. They expect OKC to win going away. They think that stretch and how well they played in the fourth quarter offensively will carry over here.
I can buy into that. They were awesome in the fourth quarter.
Yes. NBA playoffs are heating up. Our partner Profit X offering the best odds all playoff long. Profit X peer-to-peer sports exchange available in 40-plus states. You'll be able to make your picks against other groups of fans rather than against sports books. Exchanges guarantee you the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. You can even request your own odds. Download Profit X today, code VSiN. Get up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. Go get it. Again, code VSiN available in 40-plus states. Profit X.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, we'll recap our plays from last night and get into our plays for tonight with in-pocket plays, and we'll update the PGA Championship first-round leader or leaders and guys still on the course. Justin Thomas he had to take his shoes and socks off, and he hit it from the water, and I think he may have saved his round. Details next year on VSiN.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, You know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're out.
All right. Some streaks came to an end, and some bad luck with the injuries got us as well. Look at that. Warriors plus 10.5. Kuminga misses 2 free throws with 50 seconds, and the T-Wolves shoot 64% for the game. Incredible.
I saw a Bay Area media member last night say, get a good look at these players here on the Warriors down the stretch. A lot of them will not be on the team next year.
Yeah.
Kuminga is Exhibit A.
Yeah. Boy, he loves to shoot. That's why I like this player prop over so much. I mean, that guy loves to chuck and duck.
Also, I think can you tell me why he was not playing? I mean, Kerr just doesn't like him. So
right, Kerr doesn't like him. Going to the media and complaining about not playing also hurt him. And it's kind of hard to see when he's out there. Hey, we need Butler and Curry to shoot. This guy's a ball hog in a black hole.
Yeah.
Right? Vegas, season's over. And they were on a 9-1 overrun in the first period. First period over. And incredible. 1-0 final in overtime. Knicks, no good. Couldn't get it done. Celtics were great. Pritchard over. Loser over 9 in the Angel Padre game, and then Tatum with the injury and Curry with the injury. The props there for most points and most threes up in flames. Never had a chance. Pacers to win the East, 19-1. Kuminga there. This is Kuminga winner. Over
what are you going to do
points.
with the Pacers, by the way?
If they play the Knicks, I'm going to bet more on the Pacers. I totally agree with that tweet earlier about, are we just forgetting what happened against the Pistons? The Knicks should have lost that series.
You could take a little Celtics right now.
That's not bad. What price do you want? You were asking before the show. What do you want on the Celtics to win the title?
I want to go back before tip-off last night and bet it, which I did not do.
It's great. 10-2 without Tatum. They were awesome. Kuminga over points winner. Nuggets plus 5 tonight. Stars minus a game and a half in the series against the Jets. And then the Hurricane Stars exacta 11-1, added more at 14. Every first period has gone under in the Carolina series. Only 1 goal in the first period so far. First period under tonight. Anderson saves under, which is 4-0. Joker under assists, 8.5. Mitch had the breakdown with that, how that has been under. And then more plays, the new stuff tonight. Carolina to win and get it done and close out. Washington, $1.55. Panthers to win in regulation tomorrow, $1.50. 3 units. Toronto's dead. Awful performance. Florida's outscored them 12-2. I won't even count the last goal with like 2 minutes left to avoid the shutout. 12-1 since it was 3-1 Toronto midway through Game 3. And the Lions under 10.5 wins. That road schedule is brutal. Good luck.
A lot of action. Back at you. Good luck. Okay, so Payton Pritchard over 13.5 minus 135. That was the winner. That was not easy. A lot of those points came in the second half, but I'll take it. Rays on the money line, plus 143. One mistake by Pepio. 3-run shot. Kirk got him. First 5 would have been a winner. Didn't bet the first 5, though, so that's a loser last night. 3-1, they go down to the Blue Jays. No good with that baseball bet. And as for tonight, I do have a bet on a baseball game. It's the first 5 in the Rangers and the Astros. I bet an under 3.5 at even money. It's moved since then, but it's DeGrom against Hunter Brown. It's one of the best pitching matchups of the year. I also don't mind DeGrom over 6.5 Ks at plus money, but there's an angle here where both these guys are so good that it's 1-0, end of 5, and not the offenses are just not clicking tonight. Rangers are not great. Astros, obviously, no Yordan Alvarez. So that's a big big piece to take out of the offensive lineup there. So that was even money, by the way, under 3.5. And other bets that I did make, numbers are a little bit different now, so I can't tell you to go out and bet Westbrook over 9.5 points even money because that number's not available. If you want to grab Murray, I bet this before I knew he had the flu, 2.5. You can grab a little bit more than over plus 140, which is what I bet before the show started.
Celtics are 12-1 at William Hill, 13-1 at Circa, 17-1 at DraftKings.
No, I think they lose tomorrow.
Okay.
But I also was going to make a sizable bet on the Knicks. I wanted Pick'em, but it did not open up Pick'em. And the first number I saw was 1.5, and now they just got out of 2.5 now. So
what's the series price if the Celtics come back and win it and face this hot Indiana team? That's a tough one too. But what you get? How you evaluate this team?
Boston with home court.
Yes.
Which I don't even like. Again, I like this team a little bit more on the road. Well, that was with Tatum, though, better on the road.
Yeah.
So that factors in a little bit. So I'll probably get involved in play tomorrow night. I'm hoping the Celtics get off to a hot start, then come back and grab the Knicks during the game.
You got to come right back with Pritchard props. Absolutely.
I haven't even looked yet. What is he at?
He's up to 3.5 now, made threes.
Oh, you said that earlier. Okay,
you can shop that, though. And I would admit, I don't even know how you put up Porzingis props. He's unplayable. You can't even play him.
All right.
Summer go all in at Circa Las Vegas. The ultimate getaway package, just $400. 2-night stay at Circa. $100 dining credit. $100 beverage credit. Your own day bed at Stadium Swim. Where the party never stops. Ask for Taryn or Sydney. All for just $400 between May 26th and September 4th. Lock in the all-in summer package now. CircaLasVegas.com. CircaLasVegas.com for all your needs.
Pritchard's points prop tomorrow night is 14.5, minus 118. Minus 115, best number I can find. I don't hate that either. Update here at the PGA Championship. Morikawa got to 3 under like out of nowhere. He doubled 18, finished 1 under for the day. Bryson, last check, was even par through 16. And Justin Thomas actually did have a bogey on 18, but we were watching during one of the breaks. It could have been a lot worse than that. Like he was in one of the creeks. He had to take off his socks and his shoes because the ball actually landed, Paul, 3 inches away from the water? Yeah. So he could still hit it. And he actually put a beauty up there on the green. So that could have been a double, a triple, who knows, but he saved it there. And he was actually at 4 over at one point. And that's huge, I think. He could have reverted back and, dropped a couple more strokes there, but he did not.
Yep.
So playing tough today.
Yeah, Hovland 3 under.
Okay, I like that.
Scheffler 2 under. Adam Scott 2 under. Tommy Fleetwood 1 under. So was Rahm and Finau. Cole had the hole in 1. He finished 1 under. And there's a bunch of guys who are 4 over and that blew up. Koepka, Michael Block was even at one point.
Right.
He fell back. He's one of them too at 4 over. Schauffele 1 over. Berger's even. Patrick Reed's 1 over. Zalatoris. And Straka's 2 over. Fowler 2 over. Phil was terrible today, by the way. And those guys, what I said, all those guys at 4 over. Block, DJ. Yeah.
Scheffler is plus 330 in that neighborhood to win the event. He's 3 strokes back.
Oh, DJ 7 over. DJ was 7
okay.
over. Oh, my God.
Well, good for the people bettors who are fading him.
Yeah. Pizzeria tomorrow. Tip jar. Send them in. Want to see all those tickets. Pacers futures. T-Wolves futures. Edmonton Oilers. Dallas Stars. They'd lost 8 in a row. They lost game 1 at home, 6-1. 2 of their best players were out. Came back to win the series. Send them in. I saw a lot of people. You're not dead either. I saw a lot of people who've got stuff closing with Celtics Eastern Conference. You're back in business there, too.
So this is from Mark, who sent this in earlier on X at VSiN Live at Mitch Moss Radio at Pauly Howard. He had Spain to win the Euros, Ohio State to win the national title in college football, and the Celtics to close it out to win the East. Not the NBA title, the East. That paid 72-1. And he said, thanks, Celtics. You're not dead yet. Not dead yet.
Got to win tomorrow. That's right. Be favored in Game 7.
You win tomorrow, you can get very creative then with that number.
That's right. Coming up, VSiN Primetime, Tim Murray, Matt Humans, Ian Cameron's on to give out his best bets in hockey. This guy's like Jonathan Davis, too. More action than a Rambo movie. The props are crazy. cashing out. Joe Sorrello, 11 p.m. Eastern. And then VSiN by the books, Dave Ross, Jensen Lewis at 7 a.m.
Maybe time to update the reference there.
I like it. It's Paul Allen's. Good.
Well, how about like
we had the Rambo movie not that long ago.
John Wick? You want to go John Wick? I like to use Mission
good.
Impossible when I say it, but
We're a week away.
Have you seen the spin-off of John Wick called Ballerina?
Your gal.
It looks pretty decent.
What's her name? Amorous something?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
She was very good in Knives Out.
So, and MI8 comes out in like 10 days.
I see that right? $400 million budget?
Yeah.
Cruise delivers. He doesn't mess around. He will not play games.
I guess they were the filming with the submarine again for this movie.
Yes,
really set him back, and it cost a ton of cash.
It's all right.
So they did not see that one coming.
Can't thank him enough. Risking his life, doing all his stunts, the broken ankle, jumping in the building. Yep. Thanks to Tom Cruise for putting on the entertainment.
All right, can we get a Game 7 here?
I hope so.
In
or at least a 6.
A 6 in the NHL, yeah.
Can the Jets show up at least?
All right, that's it for us. Again, prime time next. Good luck with the bets tonight. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.